Hello everyone and welcome again to 48 Detailing. I really appreciate you guys joining us. Over the past few weeks, you have seen plenty of videos on our paint protection film installations and the results that we provide to our customers. Now in today's video, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty details on what we do on our system and also the installation process to get the results that you guys are seeing on video and in photos on our social media pages like Instagram and Facebook. Now paint protection film is a very difficult type of material to work with on vehicles. You need skilled installers that have experience on multiple types of vehicles, but not only the installation process, also the system behind that process on getting those patterns cut properly and also understanding what requires a pattern and what requires a custom cut on a vehicle. We have a lot of vehicles that come into the shop ranging from Corvettes to supercars to Teslas and daily drivers. Each vehicle has specific types of needs as well as the customer having specific types of needs. So let's go ahead and jump into this video and I really hope you guys enjoy. So guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and take you behind the scenes when it comes to how we organize, how we plot, and how we do all the patterns for our film applications. So there are two ways to install clear or paint protection film on your vehicle. The first way is going to be bulk application. We do this typically on the side mirrors, the hoods, things of that nature, so we can get complete coverage on the edges and get the adequate amount of material applied to the vehicle, especially on cars like Porsche Macans, Mini Coopers, things like that where they have those eggshell hoods. Another example is like the Toyota Supra, the new one that's out, and a few other vehicles. We do need to bulk install those types of areas to get complete coverage, wrap all the edges, and make sure you get the best finish possible for you. So when you bulk or custom apply a piece of film on a vehicle, you are going to go through more material. It does extend the installation process as well, and it just is a longer, more expensive process, but you do get better results because of it. Now, besides that, you have your pattern installs. Now, all of our patterns are custom to your vehicle, and I'll show you what I'm talking about right now on the screen. So right here is our core program. This is the program or the main program that we use to get all the patterns for the vehicles that are coming in. So we're going to go ahead and let's use a Tesla as an example because we get a lot of those. Let's do a 2022. We'll go ahead and do Tesla. Let's find Tesla real quick. It's going to be at the bottom. There it is. We will do a Model 3. We get a lot of those, right? Base sedan. That's what we're working with, and of course Teslas being Teslas are all pretty much the same, whether you have a dual motor or base sedan. It's just the tech and motors that are going into it. But essentially here is the system that we use. Here are all the patterns that you're seeing. So for example, if you're just going to do a hood from the pattern that's cut out, you could see, number one, there's going to be a seam line around the edge because this is not going to extend, and also the corners as well, as you can see over here, have seam lines as well for tension. So when we bulk install these, when we use a large piece of film, this is all eliminated. We don't see these seam lines or edges on the hood. We don't have this cutout around the emblem because we actually remove the emblems from the vehicle before installation, so we get a nice clean finish, and then we put the emblems back on, so you get a much better result. So that's an example of the hood right there. Now let's say we are doing fenders and bumpers, right? So let's go ahead and add that onto our cut list, which is a section over here. We're going to add our fenders. Let's go ahead and add the bumper as well, right? We're going to go to the cut board, and this is what we're looking at. This is where we can go ahead and customize all these patterns that we're seeing over here to your vehicle's needs so we can get the best result possible. So the first thing we do is we remove your side cameras and sensors, right? So we can get the film tucked underneath those and get a better finish. So we remove those from the vehicle. We remove the molding underneath over the wheel arch as well, like on the Model Y and things like that. We remove that molding so we can extend this edge, like I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the edges, and you can see that wrapping the edges extends that film so we can tuck it underneath and you won't see that edge line. And we do that in all the possible areas that we can extend, right? So it's this section over here, these sections over here, boom, and any other section that needs to be extended. Same thing with the bumper, right? We can extend this section over here. You can see we have now plenty of material to work with to wrap those edges and get a nice cleaner finish. Now there are limitations to this, guys. For example, where the fender over here in the corner that you see over here meets the bumper over here. There are limitations. Sadly, where those sections meet, it's far too tight for that film to get wrapped over the edge. And if we do wrap over the edge, the vibrations over time when driving is going to cause that film to lift and then overall ruin the film at the end of the day. So we know what the limitations are, we know where we can extend, we know where we can wrap, and we know where we shouldn't as well. So we get the best finish, but also the best longevity from the installation. So when you are calling around for prices, ask them, do you extend edges? Do you custom bulk areas of the vehicle? These are all important things that you need to ask, and that is really what's going to dictate the price point. But also extending those edges and getting them wrapped on the vehicle is going to extend the time, because we need those areas to dry out, we need the water to be removed so those edges can properly tack down, and then we have to go through the process, because if you just have a pattern, you stick it on, you squeegee the water off, and you're done and set to go. But with extended edges, it adds a few extra hours to installation as well. That's all cost at the end of the day. So there is a reason why we might be maybe slightly more expensive than the competition. It's not just the material that we're using, which is the most premium in the market, Steck Dyno Shield. It's not just the warranty that comes with it. It's also the time that we spend to make sure you get a better result for your vehicle. It is our wisdom, it's our knowledge that we have accumulated over a period of time that gets your car looking the way we want it to look and the way you want it to look. Not to say that we're perfect, even though we try our best to chase perfection, we're only human. And especially with paint protection film, I always remind people it's paint protection film, not paint perfection film. You will have some seams, you will have some edges, and that is just the nature of the beast. Unless we're doing a complete custom install on your vehicle, taking the vehicle apart piece by piece, bumper, fenders, trim pieces, and spending a week to 2 weeks on it, like we've done in the past. On a customer's Corvette C8, we did a full matte paint protection film application. Some of the full body applications we done on like the G-Wagon we had here a few weeks ago, that was a week and a half, 2 week process on those vehicles. But those customers paid $12,000, $15,000 to make sure they get it as close to perfect as possible. We're willing to do that for you, but it does cost money, and it does acquire a lot of time and patience, both on our technicians' end and also your end as a customer. These processes cannot be rushed. There are companies out there that can push your film application out in a day, but are the edges extended? Do they do the due diligence in taking off things like your cameras and trims and moldings in certain areas of your vehicle so they can go ahead and wrap that film underneath? Do they do a final inspection on the vehicle to make sure you know everything is looking good before you leave with it? Do they provide a free follow-up appointment with a hand wash to get everything cleaned up for you and do a final inspection to make sure everything is perfect for you? Those are all questions that you need to ask as a consumer before you cast judgment on a company's price. There are always people out there that will be cheaper, but ask yourself, are you going to be proud of the price that you paid or proud of the result that you paid? You know, when you're purchasing clothes, you're not wearing the price tag, you're wearing the product. The same thing goes when it comes to getting your car looking the way you want it to do and protecting your investment, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. Each one of those vehicles have increased in price over the past few years drastically. That Corvette, the customer had an offer of $115,000 on that just a few weeks ago. That is a $60,000 car that's going for $115,000 in the market that we're in right now with the miles that it has and the condition that it's in. Keep that in mind. Some of these cars are the prices of some houses out there. So these are all things that you need to keep in mind, guys. We're here to protect your investment. We're here to make sure to walk you through the process and educate you in it. We don't want any stone left unturned when it comes to the questions and the process, because at the end of the day, we want you to understand the service that you're receiving and how it's going to benefit you. And maybe paint protection film is not the service for you. Maybe it's ceramic coatings. If you're looking for ultimate protection on your vehicle, maybe ceramic coatings is the way to go, because that right there in combination with the paint correction will get your car looking its best. While paint protection film is a great balance between aesthetics and also chip, scratch, and UV protection. So keep all of that in mind.